on, man. Somebody save the kid.
Help me,
He's
for
not
I
there.
am a yellow square.
I think I minimised you. There we go.
Hello.
Woo! I think you're frozen. Or are you just not moving very much?
I'm just not moving very
Do
much.
something! It's a visual medium. Welcome back, guys. It's Rascal, our episode 2.
Don't say it.
Up in this beat. Up
Don't
in
say
this.
the joke.
What is the joke? That it's not.
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh. 2 Rascal 2 hour.
Rascal Drift. Oh, wait, no, that was 3. That's next week. I live my life along the corona.
I live my life. You can never be you what as long as it's your mama's pussy. Come in, Joe, mate. How's it going? I thought it was super cool to hear that Matt has crabs in episode 1. I love animals.
Yep, pet crabs. Keeping them in my pants.
You pet them?
Yep.
So it's not public indecency. You're just petting your crabs.
Yeah, it is pretty indecent if you keep 5 animals in your pants.
Deep Follies here.
Hello.
Hello. What's happening, Stephen Pandora? How are both, please? I'm good. I'm doing pretty well.
Please, Matt is fine. Pandora is, well, me.
Pandora is my father's.
Pandora is my father's son.
Pandora's just a character. That's what Matt says when he gets into legal trouble. No,
Yep.
it's just a
And then
character I'm playing.
And then I run away giggling and I get off scot-free.
Like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, he does that.
That's what he did. Hulk Hogan's just a character I'm playing. I was just playing the character of Hulk Hogan when I was being wildly racist.
Yeah, I've never done that.
That happened. Some tash, but listen, hold on to him for dear life while he's fucking. You're riding him. Know what I mean.
Oh, it tickles.
I think you should get a Hulk Hogan moustache, but kind of way where it's when Hulk Hogan was a baddie, right? In the wrestling, he had black stubble, but his handlebar moustache was still bleach blonde. And I
tried to grow a moustache recently, and it did not end well.
Why?
Because I just looked
Because you didn't shape it.
questionable. I did shape it.
I don't believe you.
I did shape
You
it.
just let it grow. Oh, willy nilly down near your lips and that. That's not how. Moustaches don't grow down the way, mate.
Yes, they do.
No.
Yeah, and
It's not a mouth curtain.
You have to mouth cutting. You have to change your diet so that you eat really greasy, oily things, and that puts weight into it, and that pulls it down.
Hello, Teeny's here. Welcome in, Teeny. How's it going? Welcome in. How you doing tonight? Mr. Carmel's here. Mr. Carmel's here all the time. Just biggest supporter of the channel, to be totally honest.
Joe used to see my arse curtains.
Listen. You should, by the way. That's for the OnlyFans, though. That's for the Patreon, uncensored.
Uncensored.
I think you should get no mustache, says Octi, so... What you gotta do?
What? Just take this off and keep that? Yeah, that would go down a treat.
I'm like a chin strap beard.
It's a horrible
And
word.
you could have it so like it goes down. Have it all the one length, so it's like your hair, and it just goes all the way around.
I'm gonna keep a chin strap, but like shave the rest of my head off, apart from like
Like a line?
this bit up like that, a big line. I look like an Easter basket.
That would be pretty funny, actually. I think we should do that for the charity stream.
I'll do that for Easter.
Let it grow. Let it grow. Don't hold it back anymore. There you go. Good advice. That's I always.
Who said that, Steve?
Mother Teresa, I believe. Was that said that.
Yep.
No one wants to see that
Facts.
except Doctor. I don't want to see his ass curtains. They're just in an area I do like to see. His back, his lower back.
What, Spain?
You hang him from a pole, right? Like when you're lower back.
What?
Your ass curtains.
Who's arse curtains?
Yours.
What about them?
It's like you've got like a brass pole in your lower back. And
A brass pole?
You hang the curtains off the pole.
Yeah.
And when you're going for a shit, you pop them. I don't know where I'm going with this, man. It's got away from me already. Deep Folly, they've left. They thought I was funny, they've fucked off.
Yeah, you saw me.
What we doing?
Sorry,
in fact, no. Before we talk about what we're doing today, how you been, Matt?
Yeah, been a quick week.
It has been a quick week. It has. So quick that we didn't decide what we're doing tonight until like half an hour ago.
Yeah, if that. We're very prepared. It's week 2, and we're very prepared.
Unprepared. But we filmed another YouTube video this week,
Yes.
which may or may not see the light of day.
At least we're trying. Right?
We're trying our best, guys, right? But we don't have time or money. So.
Or the patience. Or we don't actually want to do this.
Yeah, I actually physically hate doing this.
I fucking hate being on camera. I hate the lot of yous.
And how are you, though? Thank you very much for coming by.
Yes, it's very delightful to be back.
It is, I have to say. Last week was fun. I'm looking forward to doing the podcast today and getting into more It Takes Two.
Oh yeah.
I've been enjoying that.
I was enjoying that. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, we'll be playing that after this. Good first part. Good. Oh my god, I can't read. Good first part. My graded unit handed in, so I'm good. Nice. Well done. Did you get to relax for a bit then, or what?
Imagine that, like spending like
Money.
hours and hours, spending hours and hours learning and studying and putting all this work and effort into your graded unit. Being very pleased with yourself and thinking, right, I'm gonna have some time off, and then coming and watching us two rascals.
Imagine trying.
And the DBB.
It wouldn't be me either.
No, I'm not smart enough. That's why I'm a Twitch streamer.
So I mean, Matt work the same job.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
So maybe not get into it right away, but tonight me and Matt are going to be reading bad creepypastas. If you're
See,
not,
the thing is, I have delved the very tiniest bit into the creepypastas, and it was a long time ago. So I'm like, I don't even know like what's about right now. I don't even know which ones are popular. So
if you don't know what a creepypasta is, it is a scary story from the internet written by people, and sometimes they become really popular, like say a Slender Man's, or really just Slender Man. At the end of the day, I think
there's something about Jeff. There's a Jeff
the
one.
Killer, Slender
That's
Man.
the one.
You've got your what is it like Sonic the Hedgehog ones, your Simpsons ones.
Sonic.exe.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think the kind of where all this like Poppy's Playtime, Five Nights at Freddy's and all that, that's where this has came from. Is this the same as Startling Ravioli? I don't even know what to say to that, to be totally honest with you. It's just quite good, isn't it?
I don't
It's just quite
understand.
good. Spooky spaghetti.
Creepypasta, startling ravioli. Why would you startle ravioli?
Frightening Fusellini. This pasta fazool. Pasta fagool. Hey, I got there. This is where I think.
I'm away.
Right, see you later. I'll just carry this like I usually do. The
No, on you go.
I
On
was
you
just
go.
saying, like, I think it's really upsetting to me that there's not. You talk about creepypasta and scary pasta and stuff. Why is there not a character in Italian folklore that's called the Gabagool? It really fucking annoys me.
Yeah, that's a good point. There should be.
Do you know what we should have done?
We could have made it, but I don't think that would be culturally appropriate.
No, we're not Italian.
No.
Aye. So the kind of here's the thing, right? So you've got like your creepypastas that get really big, your Slendermans and all that, and there's a few that have like been made into movies and games and such. But they're like a very small minority of what is like millions and millions and millions of stories, most of which are written by 12-year-olds and are fucking terrible. And those are the better ones.
Yeah.
So
That's what we want.
That's what we're going to be doing tonight, is reading some of those. Having a wee laugh, a wee F and a wee Jeff.
A wee chuckle.
A wee chortle.
A wee giggle.
A wee chimney sweep.
A wee knee slapping.
Oh, I like that term, by the way, a knee slapper.
Yeah.
I mind that. I've never seen somebody laugh so hard they slapped their knee, man. But I mind I went to see a pantomime once when I was a wee boy, and it was Peter Pan, and he kept slapping. Well, Peter Pan's played by a lassie, as you know, usually on stage. But he kept slapping her knee. She'd be like, "Yes."
But just like
just
not
like,
even
all the
laughing.
time, just no, no. Just be
Just
like,
in
"Right,
conversation.
we have to go." All the time. For whatever reason, it stuck in my head, man. I thought it was really fucking weird.
I slap my knee sometimes.
When you're laughing,
Yeah.
are you 45?
But no.
I'd slap other folk
Getting there.
when I'm laughing.
Slap their knees.
I slap their knees. That's why I'm not allowed back at the stand anymore. No, it's I actually get kicked out of a Kevin Bridges performance.
For slapping his knee. That was you, right?
I seen Kevin Bridges once in a Subway.
And what, like the sandwich place or the train place?
Sandwich place.
Oh.
And I sent him, but
what did he get?
COVID, Italian BMT, I think.
Oh, same as me. Same accent and same.
Did I slap his
Subway
knee?
order.
No, but I fucking.
Slapped his sub.
I did
right
that, like I did the Jackie Bird thing. It was COVID social distancing, right? And me and Miss Game Dump were on the way up to Loch Lomond, and there's a wee kind of bit where you pull in, and there's like a big fucking huge services, and they've got like a Starbucks and a Subway.
Is that in the high road?
Petrol and all that, yeah. And I went in there. I'm telling a story here. And I was just waiting for my fucking foot-long steak and cheese, you know what I mean? And I looked up and I was like, fuck me, man. That's Kevin Bridges.
You said that out
And
loud.
I turned to,
you said that out loud.
No. I turned to Larissa and I was like, Didn't say it, but I felt, don't know, man, felt uncomfortable.
I've heard that he doesn't really like to be pressured. Like, some people don't like that attention. Some people do. Some people are fine with
Big Man was
But
just out a day out with his fucking missus and that.
Yeah.
Getting a fucking Subway.
You could kind of gauge it, though, like...
I should have been like, what you having, Big Man? Got to pay for my Subway or something.
You out for the day? You up too much?
You gonna write about this in your next stand up, mate?
Oh. Do you come here often? You should write a joke about a cat.
Should write a joke about a Subways, mate.
Oh, I've got loads of ideas. If you want.
Kevin Bridges could write a joke about it because he'd just walk out and he'd be like that. That's what he does. He screws up his face, and he goes. He turns to me and he's like, "Cheese or toasted?" And everybody laughs, man.
That's not even a joke.
It's not. Anyway.
Yeah, let's stop talking about Kevin Bridges.
I've lost it here, man. Do I read some scary stories that aren't scary?
I would love to.
Well, this was your idea, so you can go first.
This was not my idea.
Was it not? You picked it.
No, it was the idea that I picked.
You picked it. Like a avocado, ripe. Cut it open, pulled the wee ball out.
I've not pre-read a lot of these.
Tongue the ball hole.
So, I've also not been listening to what you've been saying in the past 12 seconds.
Hold on, right, let me know when you're going to start and I'll change to the spooky music.
Oh god, this music, yeah.
What's the first one called, Matt?
I've just picked this out at random, mainly because it doesn't look like it will take long to read. This could be alright, it could be shit, it could be meh. I don't know. I don't even know what it's about, but there's a picture of a bus. A yellow school bus, and it's called I Sat on the Bus. Buckle in.
Buses don't have seatbelts.
I'll see you there.
Is that half or a single?
It's a supper. Wait, no.
Sure, man, right.
Okay, are we ready for this?
Uh-huh.
I sat on the bus. I've said this too many times. That's the first line as well. I sat on the bus on my way to school, listening to music and paying little to no attention to the other students. At one of the stops, my mind snapped back to reality. I looked towards a small house. Tommy's house, I thought. A hand slipped through the drapes of the window and waved the bus driver to move on. He's sick, I thought, paying no large amount of attention to the situation. The day flew by. I watched the local news channel after school, and what I heard paralysed me. Tommy's entire family was murdered that day by an unknown suspect. After...
What?
Oh, this is heartbreaking already. We're over halfway through.
I've shit myself.
I preemptively done that. After hearing this news, I moved back up to my room and quietly fell asleep. The next day, I sat on the bus. We drove past Tommy's house, and the bus driver, unaware of Tommy's family's fate, stopped at his home.
Oh.
I was about to get up and explain to her what had happened. Something caught my eye. A pale hand slipped through the drapes of the window and waved the bus driver to move on. I sat on the bus, terrified. That's
Small
it.
hand slipped through my arse drapes when you're reading that.
My arse curtains.
My arse curtains. That was fucking terrible.
That was shocking, man. I wish I'd pre-read that one.
Yeah, you probably should have. You probably should have pre-read all of these.
No, that's why we do things.
Here's mine.
Yeah, it's swiftly moving on.
Swiftly moving on. That wasn't even. I don't have anything even to say about that.
I think if we were to say anything about that, it would be that we should not think about that one and move on.
I'm glad Tommy died.
It's
This one is titled "Our Family Brush Our Teeths by Sharing One Toothbrush." I pulled this one off of the Creepypasta subreddit. It was posted 7 hours ago.
What?
So here we go. We've seen a lot of long sentences here, but we'll go with it. Right? Well, Matt's died. Are you okay? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh my god! What was that?
I'm good. Just fucking read a thing.
My wife randomly came up to me and said that she wanted all of us to brush our teeth using only one toothbrush. I had no idea why she wanted this, and I tried explaining to her how unhygienic brushing teeth. Oh my god. No, it's written so bad. Right, okay. I had no idea why she wanted this, and I tried explaining to her how unhygienic brushing teeth by sharing toothbrushes. That's the sentence. That's what it says.
That says. Please read it as is.
She wasn't having it, and she even wanted both her kids to brush with the same toothbrush. So our whole family were brushing our teeth by sharing one toothbrush, and yes, it was disgusting. The mouth being the most germful place and all. I did try to say no, but my wife showed a rage I had never seen within her before. Something was wrong, and even the kids could sense it, but in general, we all started brushing our teeth by sharing a toothbrush. Now, I don't want to spoil anything here, guys, but I think they're sharing the same toothbrush.
Every time you say it.
It was so disgusting, and my wife was so determined to go through with it for some odd reason. Me and my two kids absolutely hated brushing our teeth by sharing a toothbrush. I couldn't imagine the amount of germs that were being spread. I begged my wife to stop this nonsense, but again she showed a rage which actually terrified me. I bet that lonely toothbrush felt lonely and disgusted with us as well. Then our eldest child started getting tooth pain, and it was definitely an infection. It was a really bad one, but my wife still insisted that we all brush our teeth by sharing a single toothbrush. Our eldest child tooth pain started growing worse, and it started to spread to other parts of her bodies. It started to swell, and out of annoyance, my wife just took the infected teeth out. It was so painful, but yet we still had to brush our teeth by using the same toothbrush. Then our second child started to have teeth problems, and he wasn't experiencing teeth pain, but rather he started getting gum problems. I begged my wife to stop this nonsense, and then me and her started to have gum problems. Our eldest didn't have any teeth left at this point, and to know we were... Sorry. Our eldest didn't have any teeth left at this point, and to know we were brushing our teeth, with the same toothbrush, it was sickening. Then all of our teeth started falling out, and our oral health started to deteriorate. Our eldest wasn't waking up anymore, and I can only think that her unhealthy oral health has affected her body. She had no teeth to bite, and her gums hurt, so she couldn't eat, and by not eating, she died. Then when it was just me, my wife, and our second child, I asked my wife what this was all about. That single toothbrush was essentially cheating on with all of us, and see how this has destroyed our health and livelihood. Then I knew that she knew I had been cheating. That's the end of the story. Oh. The guy who was cheating on his wife, so she made them share a toothbrush.
What?
The Othel Island featuring teeth pain. I'm on a boat. So the moral of the story is, if you share a toothbrush, you're cheating and someone has to die. Yes. This woman, instead of confronting her husband, killed one of her children through teeth and gum pains.
I actually feel I'm gonna be sick. That's the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Oh.
I mean, the amount of times
teeth pain,
they said
toothbrush.
they were sharing a toothbrush.
They really hammered home that they were sharing a toothbrush, man. And then really brushed over what the twist in the story was.
That's
It was truly,
comedy.
truly fucking bizarre. I don't know. I don't bloody know. That was that. That was an experience. Best story of 2023. That's getting adapted into a Netflix miniseries. It'll run for one season and then they'll cancel it. Look for that. Early July. Matt, have you got another story?
Yeah, another one I've not proofread.
Yeah.
It's called Licking. Estimated reading time 2 minutes. There's no like nice picture to go with this one, which is sad.
None of mine have pictures.
Well, I suppose I'm on a different site, but oh well. Okay, so this is Licking. It has nothing to do with sharing the same toothbrush.
Licking
My
the same
great grandma
toothbrush?
licking. Maybe. We'll see. I've not proofread it, so
Okay.
this already feels like it's going to be gross. My great grandmother lived alone up in the mountains at her cabin. Her husband was dead, so she was there all alone. She only had one companion, and that was her loving dog. They both adored each other, and the dog was a great comfort to her. Every night, when she went to bed, the dog would lick her hand to let her know that he was there to protect her.
Oh, I know this one.
I recognise it. One night, she had gone to bed, and the dog had licked her hand, like he had done routinely every night since her husband died. But
Hand.
this night was different.
You like the pussy.
It's a dog, not a cat. I've lost my place. She had woken up in the middle of the night because she heard her dog whimpering. She wanted to comfort him and let her know that she was there for him. So she stuck her hand out by the bed and she felt the dog gently lick her hand like always. She figured he was just cold, so she went back to sleep. And then there's an ad, so I'm going to scroll down.
What's the ad for?
The dog's... more creepypastas.
Oh, perfect.
I know, right? The dog's whimpering had woken her up a second time in the night, so she stuck her hand out, the dog licked it, and she went back to sleep. This happened a third time. She stuck her hand out, the dog stopped whimpering, and came and licked her hand. She stayed awake a few moments afterward, and she went back to sleep again. In the morning, she woke up and stuck her hand out by the bed, but nothing licked her hand. She thought that the dog had already awakened and was just in the front room. She rolled over, got out of bed, and heard a drip. 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 Drip.
Toothbrush.
She thought the sound was coming from the kitchen, so she walked over, turned the handles in the sink faucet, but it wasn't the source of the noise. After frustratingly checking the sink and its pipes, she gave up and continued into her bathroom to take a shower. As she got closer to the bathroom door, it was evident that the sound was coming from within. She opened the door, looked above the bathtub, and gasped in utter horror. There, hanging from the light by his collar, was her loving companion. His blood was dripping into the bathtub. She screamed and began to cry, wiping her eyes and sobbing. She turned and looked into the mirror. In the mirror, she saw the dog's reflection, and written on the mirror in her dog's blood, with drips and streaks hanging down from each letter, were the words, "Humans can lick too."
You're damn right.
See?
I knew that one. I've heard that one before.
I've heard of it. I never actually read it before. Yeah, that's gross. It's so gross. Yeah.
You show me what that tongue do.
That's like a lot of effort for a prank.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. You got a good one. Mine made me cry. Yours made me cry.
Sad. They had toothbrush.
My throat hurts. Like, genuinely.
That was fucking shite. Oh, this is not content.
It is because it's us. Right, this got a 7.8 out of 10.
Why are you doing good ones?
88 votes. I searched the bad ones, like the lowest rating ones.
Just go on the Creepypasta and pick the worst ones.
Right, let's.
Just pick the most recent ones that sound terrible. That's what I did. Sorry to the authors. Do something else, please.
Oh, wait, hang on.
I have one called An Xbox Nightmare. Red Ring of Death, know what I mean?
Oh, yes, we've been there.
This one starts with note. Yes, this did actually occur. This is from my perspective of how I remember this nightmare. Okay, this nightmare I had was so scary I had to share it with you. I am lucky I even slept through the night while this was happening. I am writing this in my own perspective of how I remember this weird, scary dream. It gets very, very creepy, almost unsettling. I went to sleep one night, dozed off entirely. I then was teleported into a dream, which would soon become a nightmare. Like I was in it. I could feel myself moving around and interacting with everything, just like when I'm actually awake. Me and my sister were playing the Xbox Series X, brackets, in which I do have. But
Fucking good flex, bro.
But our Xbox started acting odd. First it ejected the disc, which stopped the game we were playing. It didn't just eject it, it flew out of the console. Luckily it didn't break or shatter. The Xbox started rejecting all discs, even discs of Xbox 360 and OG Xbox. The Xbox Series X would also prevent me from loading any games with a very strange error code, null. There was no error information or no error code, just the word null. Me and my sister were terrified when the whole console started to groan and moan, but it got even scarier when the console started to shake, which oddly made the controller start shaking. The dashboard strangely began to melt, and eventually the whole console shut off. We tried to turn it back on, but it did not work under any sense. For a few minutes, it would not turn on. We didn't turn on the console, but more rather, minutes later, it turned itself on. There was no Xbox boot screen or dashboard, just a blank black screen. We started to get worried again. The dashboard then started to flicker and flicker until it went to a creepy version of the actual dashboard. The console's LEDs then started to change. It went from white to very, very dark red, almost blood red, but it gets even stranger. The whole Xbox lifted itself up and started floating. It then somehow managed to unplug itself and the console thudded on the drawer. We decided to plug the console back in, but as soon as we did, the LED was immediately the same red as before, and then it started to float again. This is where it gets scary.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Right, I thought you were adding that.
No, this is where it gets scary.
As if we weren't already spooked.
You weren't already shitting your pants before, here we go. The console once again manages to unplug itself, but when it does, the LED does not go off and the Xbox is still hovering in the air. We thought it could not get any more creepy, but then the Series X moved towards us and looked at me. It looked like it wanted to kill me.
It looked at me.
I screamed and ran into the kitchen, hoping to be safe from the demonic Xbox. It then looked over the corner at me, trembling in fear. I then caught a glimpse of the console looking over my shoulder and screamed again. I ran past the Xbox and darted up the steps into my dad's room. My dad was confused about why I ran up the steps, but I was so terrified I didn't even want to answer his question. A few minutes later we heard it pounding on the door. Not our front door, but the door of the room I was in. The pounding got even louder and louder. Frantically I opened up the oh my god, frantically I opened up the door only to find out it was my stepmom just wanting my dad. What's happening? So now I was in the room alone and terrified. I hoped to God I would not see that Xbox again. And then I heard pounding on the door again. And I just assumed it was my sister, so I let the banging continue. But I got worried when I heard the sound of groaning and moaning. Whatever it was, it decided it was sick and tired of waiting, and the door opened. It was my Xbox from downstairs with the same red LEDs as before. I once again screamed so loud my parents rushed into the room, only to be disturbed by the fact of a floating Xbox in my dad's room. What is going on? Where are they? I tried to say words.
Where are you finding these ones?
I tried to say words but could not due to the state I was in. The Xbox turned around and caught a glimpse of my parents. I watched in absolute horror as the demonic console killed them both. I screamed and cried, and then the Xbox turned itself back around and would ensure I would not escape. I luckily made it out of the room, but then I found out while I was running upstairs the console also killed my uncle and my sister. Now I was really all alone. I had nothing left other than myself, the TVs, a computer and the Xbox. My family life had completely broken down due to that demonic haunted Series X. I decided to run out the house and get a ladder to climb up to the roof and hopefully find out that it would not find me. Turns out that wasn't the case, as it had knew I went out of the house, then saw me on the roof. It zoomed up to the top of the roof at that moment. I knew this was the end. My console was about to take my life away from me. I knew I had to do something, So I decided to kick the console down the roof, but I had to find a way to do it and had very little time to do so. I think I spent over $400 on Now Wants Me Dead. I eventually did find a way and kicked that console all the way down the roof and watched as the entire console broke into a million pieces and the LED shut off completely. Turns out that was a bad idea, as the sky turned green and my 360 with a red ring and my OG Xbox and brackets, which has now been in storage for God knows how long, also had a red ring. My Xbox 360 made me hallucinate a pool of Xbox 360 green water, and it said, "Jump in," which was the classic phrase of the console and has always been the slogan for Xbox. My 360 then pushed me off the roof and I was plummeting down, and then the pool vanished. Then I started screaming bloody murder, and then splat, everything goes black. The nightmare finally ends and then I wake up still scared. Everything is there. My family is thankfully not dead, and my Xbox Series X is in the same place in the drawer where I usually keep it. I'm so glad I even got sleep, because I found this nightmare to be one of the worst nightmares I've ever experienced. That's the end of the story.
Is that it?
That's it. And there's one anonymous comment that says, "Xbox suck, PC is superior."
Xbox.
Xbox. Okay, so welcome in. How's it going? I'm sorry that you came in at this point in time. We're reading bad creepypastas. The start of that story would not have provided any context because that was incoherent gibberish.
It did not.
I guess the guy's Xbox tried to kill him. Was it looking at him as it broke? I guess. I don't even know how an Xbox looks. I've got one right here. It's not looking at me though. Thanks for reading my story, guys. Joe. Anytime, mate.
Joe, I thought you were lying when you told me that.
Did that happen when you lived together?
I died.
I minded Joe came into my house once, man. And he was like, "I brought Bioshock, we can play Bioshock, it's so good, we're never going to play Bioshock. And Bioshock is the best game." And I put it in my Xbox 360 and shut it in my Xbox 360 red ringed. Class. I'm not going to lie, I stopped paying attention so early on in that story. Yeah, that was a hard one. That was a hard one to read. But I'm sure Matt has something else that's maybe a bit more coherent.
Like the ones I'm finding, I can't find any like stupid ones. I've been searching for ages. I found like...
I just picked ones off the front page, man.
On Creepypasta?
The Reddit.
Oh, Reddit.
Well, not our website. The website just has the good ones. It has the fucking famous ones. But then who was phone?
Yeah, it's got that one. That's a classic. It's like that kind of vibe I'm looking for. Okay, let's have a look.
You have a look. I'll read who was phone. And I'll do it in it sounds like the story of... Nope, you're not going to get me, Queso.
Oh, right, yeah, I've just thought about that. Yeah, no.
How do I find the...
Oh, I'm not reading all of that. That's...
So you're with your honey and you're making out when the phone rings. You answer it and the voice says, "What are you doing with my daughter?" You tell your girl and she say, "My dad is dead." Then who was phone?
You don't realize how short it is until somebody reads it out. Then who was phone?
Wait. This connected input device. What? What the fuck? Hey yo, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Sorry, I was going to read
Number
this.
15.
Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce. We should read them all like that.
Yeah.
The last thing you want in your Burger King burger, someone else's foot fungus. What on earth do you mean? Don't start with me, Queso. How are you, Queso? How are we doing this fine evening?
Very short story.
Right. I'm ready.
It's got... Ugh, that's shit. I don't even know how to pronounce that word, and then it just doesn't make sense.
You eating a baguette? What's on the baguette? You eating a dry baguette? I don't know if I can deal with that.
A dry baguette. Ugh.
Happy. I'm eating a baguette, so I'm happy. Hope you are too. Happy. Not eating a baguette. I can see there's no baguette being eaten. That's where you're wrong, because I've actually got a baguette right here.
Got him.
Wafer thin ham, cucumber, lettuce, probably butter. I don't know. Where'd you get it from? Is that a Greg's number? Look at this lighter. Anyway. Hey, put her back. Greg's. Love to see it. I like a wee chick mayonnaise. Phil Greg's. Gregory. Why is it called
Right,
Greg's?
Matt,
Matt, write a Greg's creepypasta and tell me it right now.
write a Greg's creepypasta.
Yeah.
Am I writing one? Do you want
The
to just
lady
say
put
one
her
out?
hand. The lady put her hand on the. The lady put her hand on the sausage roll, and she said, "There's just a wee bit of heat left in that, son." And I was like, "That's fine, hen. No worries."
It was a
But
cold
when I bit into
Tuesday.
it was ice cold.
It was a cold
And I died.
Tuesday afternoon,
Uh-oh.
and I was hungry. I don't want to type this out. It was a cold Tuesday afternoon, and I was hungry.
Is that
So
it?
I wanted. Yep, that's it.
Right.
Creepypasta. I went to go to the local Greg's nearby because it was open on Tuesdays, and I was hungry. I asked for sausage roll, as I always normally do, and she picked it up. But I looked down, and what I see did frighten me. She was wearing no glove.
Right.
That's it.
Well,
That's
does
it.
it always have to be cold? I want a story. I want a story that starts on a lovely sunny summer day. I know what you did last summer.
I don't want a sausage roll when it's warm.
Yeah, do a cold one. Anyway, I believe it was Mahatma Gandhi that once said, still a wee bit of heat left in that, son. Can you read a story, please?
Yes. Alright, so this is probably another fucking terrible one. It's called The Statue. I don't know if this is a well-known
Remember in
one. I don't
Doctor
know.
Who when they implied that the Statue of Liberty was a weeping angel?
They didn't imply it. It literally happened in the show. And then it literally happened in real life.
What?
Because the image of an angel becomes an angel.
I hate Doctor Who. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay, this is The Statue. This has a 6.9 out of 10. For some reason, that's one of the lowest rated ones. A few years ago, a mother and father decided they needed a break, so they wanted to head out for a night on the town. They called their most trusted babysitter. When the babysitter arrived, the two children were already fast asleep in bed. So the babysitter, I've said babysitter too many times already. So the babysitter just got to sit around and make sure everything was okay with the babies, children.
who was phone?
When was phone? Later that night, the babysitter got bored and went to watch TV, as if they'd just been sitting around doing absolutely fuck all. But she couldn't watch it downstairs because they did not have cable downstairs. The parents didn't want children watching too much garbage, in brackets. So she called them and asked them if she could watch cable in the parents' room. Of course, the parents said it was okay, but the babysitter had one final request. She asked if she could cover up the angel statue outside the bedroom window. Window?
Window?
Blank. Window.
Mace window?
Mace window.
You got a purple background and everything.
She asked if she could cover up the angel statue outside the bedroom window with a blanket or cloth because it made her nervous. The phone line was silent for a moment, and the father who was talking to the babysitter at the time said, Take the children and get out of the house, and we'll call the police. We don't own an angel statue.
Oh!
The police found both of the children and the babysitter slumped in pools of their own blood within 3 minutes of the call. No statue was found.
Oh, fuck, man. Oh, that. There's just a certain flavour. A certain je ne sais quoi
What?
about these stories, man. They're all written in like the same way.
And it's because we're saying them in the same
No,
way.
like it's all like nothing's happening, man, and then they're all dead. But it's like a pure long explanation of like what's happening, and then like 2 sentences where it's like, and then the killer came and now they're dead. And like that's the end of the story.
I know, there's like pointless drivel, man.
I know.
It's like
Someone
the father who was talking to the babysitter at the time.
It's
like,
because
what?
it's written by 12-year-olds who get told by their English teachers to put in lots of description and also to write like they have to like break a word count.
Yeah, it's folk trying to reach a word count, man.
I was thinking maybe I'd read one of these and with the AI voice changer narrator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Need that.
Stole it from one garden to the other. Hey, listen. That's a good shout, by the way.
I think the babysitter did it and lied about the statue because technically she's the only one that would have seen that
She
statue.
phoned and she was like, move that statue, and the parents were like, stat who?
Honestly, fuck you.
Okay. Can you guys write your best / worst creepypasta and read it next week? Could do that. I have an idea. I don't know how exactly we'll do it, but I want to do a one where like me and Matt both do like a cast list and story of like who would be us in like a movie about us.
Yes.
We both have to like do it separately, and then
and the plot.
yeah, and like both read them out. Wouldn't be like writing a script, but like that was an idea. that I had.
A who, what, where, when, why.
See, that story though absolutely would not happen to me. The babysitter called my dad and said, "Can I move the statue?" My dad would be like, "Fuck off! I've just got a free statue. I'm keeping that." Listen, free statues, haunted or not, free is free.
Free statue. Babysitter did it.
Right, I'm going to read this one.
And this voice. Wow.
Oh dear.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Does it sound different and weird?
Does it sound what?
Does it sound different and weird?
It sounds very weird.
Does it sound like... Does it sound like Morgan Freeman?
It does when you do that, yes. Don't laugh. Don't laugh in it. No, stop it. It's chuckling at me.
This next story is called A Game from My Childhood. After digging around in my childhood box where I stored all my toys and games, one stood out among the rest. The Journey of Deirdramon. Unpronounceable name aside, it didn't take too long, though. Unpronounceable name aside, it didn't take... I can't fucking do this. Unpronounceable name aside, it didn't look too out of place amongst the Nintendo and PS3 games scattered throughout. I never played this game. In fact, when I went to the internet to look up this game, I found no information on the game. It was like the game never existed.
The game.
It looked harmless enough, so I popped it into Nintendo while waiting for it to load. It took about a couple of seconds until the start screen. Everything seemed normal, save a few allusions to philosophical and religious concepts a kid couldn't understand. But plentiful beside what?
What?
I'm sorry, there's just a lot of like running on sentences, and it makes it hard to make sense of what's being said. Just bear with me, okay?
Especially in that voice. Oh man.
Right, I'm gonna go back to being Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Everything seemed normal, save a few allusions to philosophical and religious concepts a kid couldn't understand were plentiful. Besides that, it was just an ordinary fantasy game for children. What did worry me was a recurring address I'm not going to repeat here for obvious reasons, but it first showed up in the letter or number before the title. For example, T, Blue, 4, Dog, and Onward. This makes very fucking sense. Then the full address appeared on the signs to occasions that the characters would randomly put it out after saying something. Then they would kill the player staring directly at them that they need to go there multiple times in some cases. For curiosity's sake, I typed the address into my search engine, and it turned out to be the address to a house. I took the Google map and saw that it was decrepit. There were holes all throughout the house and had holes big enough to allow anyone to look in. Some symbols dotted the front yard, most of the door and floor. Why this game would tell a Joe to go to this ancient abandoned looking house, I don't want to know. After this discovery, I quickly removed the disc from my game system and put it back where I found it, and thinking of destroying anything to stop from getting into the hands of some kid. I may be paranoid, but the thick creators are still out there waiting for someone to come under inspiration of what they made.
That's it. That made no fucking sense.
What? That's it?
That's it. They found a
thought we were
game
just
and it was
getting
like,
started.
there's an address. And then he was like, no. He does. This story is what someone should do in a horror movie or story. He finds a scary thing and he's like, nah. Puts it back.
Yeah, that's like nobody in a horror story has ever done that. Nobody's like, oh, a creepy doll. I'm gonna take this with me. No, just fucking put it back.
They're like, oh, this guy's like, that's scary, innit? Oh well. Puts the game back in the shelf.
Okay. Sits and plays Grand Theft Auto.
I'm gonna play Banjo Kazooie
man.
Nuts and Bolts instead. Fuck this.
Right. Time's it. Oh, just coming on 9 o'clock. Memer of the week.
We only did an hour. We did an hour and a half last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's do a Rascal hour and a half then.
We RASCAL.
So you get an extra half hour to put your memer of the week submission.
Yes, if you're not in the Discord and you've got a meme you found this week that you like, get it in the Discord, put it in the channel. Meme of the week under the RASCAL hour. I've also put in one. If you find any funny videos, there's a You Laugh You Lose submission.
Oh.
One. If you put them in there, they'll be featured in the next You Laugh You Lose video on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Very good shout. Oh, right. I think people have heard of this one.
Okay.
Oh no, this is not one. This is just a description of something that might have happened. Screw that.
Is it not what all stories are?
Do you know what I mean? It was the one about Lavender Town and Pokemon, and how the music got into kids' heads and made them kill themselves and shit. Like, this is one called "I Sat on the Bus." No, I did that one.
I shat on the bus.
I shat on a bus. That's why I'm not allowed on the number 34 anymore.
What?
Another one I've not pre-read, probably absolutely shit. Mine have all been utter horse shit, man. Yours have been class. I'm so annoyed.
I've got two more.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got a page with like 10 short ones, so I want to read the short ones.
Right, you want to do that
This
then?
one's called Seaweed.
Oh,
This is the same page that I got the bus one from,
right.
so it's probably going to be awful. This one's called Seaweed. My grandmother grew up in the slums of Prohibition-era Chicago. Her family lived in a small house near the harbour, and one of her earliest memories was of a particularly hot summer when, seeking respite from the heat, she and her sister discovered a seldom-used section of boardwalk near an abandoned warehouse. Every night for several weeks, the two girls would make their way down to the docks and sit together on the edge of the pier as the sun went down. I really hope something really fucking shit doesn't happen here, because I have not proofread this at all. My grandmother vividly, and for a time fondly, recalled the feel of the seaweed between her toes as she and her sister dangled their feet into the murky water.
Maybe someone's here.
Fuck off.
Is it?
It wasn't it. I don't know. Probably. It wasn't until years later that she returned to the pier and found that the warehouse had been demolished. Curious, she made an inquiry with the Department of Planning and Development. Apparently the warehouse had been owned for a time by the mob, who was using it as a base of operations for a local prostitution racket. It had only been uncovered when an associate began disposing of rival hookers by fitting them with concrete shoes and dumping them into the harbour. Investigating officers had recovered nearly 24 bodies from the water of a secluded pier nearby. How had the bodies been discovered? A passing fisherman spotted some of the victims' hair floating near the surface of the water, like seaweed.
I called it. It's pretty good.
It's alright. It's alright. It's better than the bus one. Better than the bus one.
It's pretty good. But good wasn't what we came here for.
I know, I'm really annoyed.
Here's a story.
I wanted short ones, so...
It's in all caps. It's called He Sees You When You're Sleeping.
Is it about Santa? Please
Yes.
fucking tell me it's about Santa. Oh my god.
Before I start,
yes.
I just want to wish you all a happy holidays. This is quite a traumatizing experience I had when I was young. Anyway, get comfortable because this is going to be a very disturbing story. I always tell this story around Christmas time to my friends and family, and I thought this subreddit would love stuff like this, so here it goes. It was Christmas of 2008 and I was pretty young. I still believed in Santa at that point, so I had the attitude of, oh, if I stay up, maybe I can catch him. God damn my curiosity. This year I was absolutely positive I was going to catch him. I had a ton of caffeine ready so I wouldn't fall asleep waiting. At around 12:30 in the morning, I knew my parents were asleep and they were extremely heavy sleepers. I slept downstairs and to my surprise my presents were already there. I thought, shoot, I missed them. I hung out downstairs for a few hours playing on my iPod Touch. This guy's got the nice little touch. You see a 2008 iPod Touch?
Good link.
Good link. I had an iPod Touch in 2008. This is where it happened. Where I was sitting, you could look down a hallway and see a sliding glass door. I don't know how long he was standing there, but all I know is when I looked up from my iPod, he was standing right outside, looking at me. It's Santa, I thought. As I looked closer, he didn't seem like the jolly fat old man we all came to love. He was in a bright red suit, but he wasn't fat at all. He was extremely pale and skinny, and he was relatively old, possibly in his 60s. He had bright red cheeks and giving a good creepy old smile. He gave me a hand signal to come. Came to love. He was in a bright red suit. What is happening? He gave me a hand signal to come to the door. Oh my, I started reading the wrong line. He gave me a hand signal to come to the door. I started walking down the hallway and I started getting a this isn't right feeling mixed in with a I hit the jackpot feeling too. As I walked, he gave me the same look all the down. No lights were on in the hallway and there was a bright light shining on him outside the house. As I opened the door, I said, "Oh my gosh, Santa, it's you." He started in a high-pitched voice. "Why, hello, little boy. It's so good to see you. Have you seen the presents I've given you?" I couldn't believe it. I was talking to the real Saint Nick himself. Yeah, I did. But Santa, why are you back here? I looked closer into his eyes and realised they were pure black, nothing but pupil. Well, you're a special little boy. Understand? So special you made the top of the nice list. I was so confused. I'd always been good, but never so good that I never did anything naughty. So what now?
I don't like this.
He let out a wide grin. Now you get to be one of my elves. I squealed in excitement. Can I go tell my parents? No, 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 you can't. If you tell them, they might think I'm some sort of crazy person. They might not even believe I'm the real Santa. I thought about it for a second. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Sense is spelt wrong. What do you want to do then? Are you going to take me back with you to the North Pole? Because I can't go there. My parents will know. He was quick to respond. Yes, yes, I know. We are just going to go around the neighbourhood, deliver some extra presents. I smiled. Wow, that sounds fun. Where's your reindeer? He laughed. They're in my sack. I was confused. Why? I could see an insane amount of yellow in his teeth. I killed them. I was shocked. What? He laughed. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, just look in my sack. He opened it. The stench was atrocious. It was filled with body organs and intestines. Why would you do that? I cried. Because they were naughty, he screamed, with that scary voice only men can do. I went silent and started shaking. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go, kid. I was too scared to do anything else but follow him. We walked half a mile up the road and it was freezing. Oh, this house here, it has some naughty people. What I want you to do is knock on the door and ask them to call your parents. Leave the door open. What are you going to do to them? He smiled. Give them what they deserve, of course. Like coal, I asked. Yep, he said. I did what I was told. A teenage girl answered. Oh my god, kid, what are you doing outside? It's freezing out here. I looked for a few seconds. Can I please call my parents? She looked around. Come inside. As I walked in, I asked to use the bathroom. She said okay and directed me in. As I started, I hear someone walking past the bathroom door. Shot! It was so loud. I didn't know what it was and I was too scared to come out. Santa, I yelled. I waited about 30 seconds. As I walked out, I saw something that gives me chills to this date. I walked out and, shit you not, saw Santa eating the intestines of the girl like a rat. Santa, did you kill her? He got up, looked at me and said, the youngest meat spelled M-E-E-T, is always the tenderest. I ran out of the house. Never do I remember a time where I was scared. What? As I looked back from down the street, he was in front of the house staring at me with black eyes. I kept running. I got back, locked the doors, jumped into bed and went under the covers. I don't know why I didn't tell my parents. I was so confused. He was Santa. What if she was just naughty? What if he came for me next? I had a one-level house, so I made sure I didn't look at my window. I just started crying. I thought about death, what he was going to do to me if he came after me. Then I heard it. It started soft at first, and I refused to believe it was real. I heard, Santa Claus is coming to town outside my house. My stomach dropped. It wasn't a normal version, not at all either. It was one line over and over again. He sees you when you're sleeping. 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 I could hear the music coming closer to my window. I bit my pillow as it got louder, crying all the more. I knew he was staring at me now. It kept going the whole night. I was sweating and it was so hot under my blanket. I didn't get up because I was so scared. I didn't know how, but I must have passed out from being so hot under my blankets and crying. I woke up the next morning and he was gone. So there you go. Creepy Santa.
That took some turns. Twists and turns.
I'm just glad he wasn't a diddler.
He was just a eater of people.
Fine intestines. That was bad, yep. It was.
Yeah.
But that's the point. That's why you came here, isn't it?
Do you want to do one more while I go pee? I think I might have
I only have one more. So, it depends. Want me to find another one? I'll read it.
Yeah. Right, BRB.
How are we doing, folks? Hope this isn't boring you too much. What can I read? What can I read? The thing is, you click on some of these and they're like 10 pages long. This one's called Everything Equals 5. Everything equals 5, and I mean everything. Even if it's a generic question like, do you want to go to the restaurant? The answer will always be 5. Life is so easy when I realised that everything equals to 5, and I wish I'd known sooner. I've been tutoring another child, and I have been teaching him my realisation. I've been telling him that everything equals to 5. I've been preparing him for school exams, and I've been telling him to put the number 5 down for every question. The student has been rebelling against me, and it has been annoying me so much. The student doesn't believe that everything equals to the number 5. I have been heavily indoctrinating him that everything equals to 5. I would mark his papers and he would put other numbers or answers on the paper. I am disgruntled with him, but then my student got it, that everything equal to 5. My student realised now how easy everything is when everything equals to 5. He even did mock exams at nightclubs where his mother is a stripper at the nightclub, and he got full marks and he put down the number 5 down. I was so proud of him for finally seeing the light, and at school, where my student gets severely bullied for being a stripper, he just gives answer 5 to all their mocking sexual innuendo questions about his stripper mom. His life has been made so easy when he can just answer everything by giving the number 5. I'm so proud of my student for finally getting it, and before he was truly struggling to put the answer 5 for every question. Now it's just instinctive. It's so good when a student finally learns something. So when I murdered 5 people in 5 separate streets during the course of a month, I blamed it on my student. When the police asked him how many people he had killed, he simply gave the answer 5. When they asked him how many different streets he had murdered on, my student's reply was 5. Any other question they asked my student was simply 5. My student didn't get sent to prison, but he got sent to a place for mentally ill people. He still gives the answer 5 to any question that comes his way. Recently I've had another great realisation. Every answer actually equals 10. Now I've got another student coming to me for private tuition. I will make sure that that student realises that everything equals to 10. That's not a bad idea.
I don't really understand it.
He gaslit a child into believing that the answer to every question is 5, so that he could kill 5 people in 5 different streets. All these things that are 5. So, and then he said that was my student. And then the police were like, how many people did you kill? And the student was like, 5. And they were like, Johnny, we got him. Lock him up. Put him behind bars.
Johnny, we got him.
And then he was like, I'm good at 10 now. It's a good idea, but it was really badly written. I'm going to say that. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No, yeah, that's a good, yeah.
You want to read one now?
Mate, this is you have hit the jackpot somehow, and I have hit an empty barrel.
Spooky. Well, I have one more that's very short.
Ow.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What?
Cringe creepypastas.
I've got one more to read it, and then we'll do Meme of the Week after Matt reads his. But question is, do you want me to read it in the funny Morgan Freeman voice again? That is, I'm asking chat. I'm asking chat, not Matt.
Chat, not Matt. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I can't find like the cringy shit. Like the ones you have. You found absolute gold ones. And I found absolute shit. I know, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just searching it bad.
Well, I just did this one.
Yeah, go for it.
And we'll finish it.
Do it.
This one's really short. And it's titled Bananas in Pajamas, Stop.
Oh no.
It was a pretty regular day. I was just shadow surfing and came across a Bananas in Pajamas episode. It was just the beginning. I remembered watching it, but I was a toddler, so I decided to watch a bit. The episode was called Stop. When it began, there was just a bathroom with the taps left on, and the water was footing to the floor. To the left was a rocking chair with one of the bananas in it. He was reading a story called Stop. There was nothing telling you which banana it was. He just kept saying stop, stop, stop. At this point I was slightly creeped out, but I kept watching. He then said, "Tell the others to stop." "Stop what?" I kept asking myself. But suddenly he replied, which almost gave me a heart attack. "Stop stealing." I was too tuned to speak, but it said, "Stealing my soul, your soul, our souls." Suddenly I saw him banana came up with a violin and started playing this creepy tune. The taps mysteriously turned off. He couldn't tell which banana he was either. He pointed at me and said, "Why?" Suddenly the TV practically exploded like a firework. The thing got burned. Luckily, the doors were now locked in my living room. I tried to open them, but they wouldn't. Then suddenly I blacked out. When I woke, the windows of the one room were bolted up with wooden planks. I tried to remove them, but it was impossible. When I turned around the corner of my living room was 2 bottles of water, a gun, and a note. Note read, "You're being punished. Marooned. If you want to survive, use the water, and if you don't, use the gun." I eventually managed to escape, and when I did, there was another note. "Tell no one if you value your life."
That's it.
I love the pause in it. That's it. Just
What is like one comment from an anonymous user? It says, "I got mission passed with an odd reward. Mission passed, reward, hammer. Then I went to Jimmy's room and found the bloody hammer. I picked it up and hit Trent over the head with it. Instead of funny attack, he dug the hammer right into Trench's stomach." I don't know what that's got to do with anything, but there you go.
Well,
Yeah,
these were pastas.
they were pastas and they were slightly creepy. They were
Somewhat.
a little bit al dente. They weren't quite
Ooh.
fully cooked. You know what I mean? They were a bit. I would say
A little bit raw.
they were a little bit. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I don't know. Right, I don't want to look at creepypastas ever again.